All right. Testing, testing. Okay, so far let's wait and see if anyone shows up for this. Oh, hey Drew, nice to see you've made it. Let's just hope we don't have any problems with my mic this time. I don't know what that was about yesterday. Um, yeah, I guess we can go in and get started. So yeah, welcome back everyone to another Disney Watch-along. Today we'll be checking out or revisiting the 1992 animated classic Aladdin, a film that yeah, YouTube almost made you miss this. Well, good thing you managed to make it then, Drew. But yeah, I think this seems to be a favorite for most people. For us growing up, it's either this or like The Lion King seems to be the two big favorites. But yeah, yes. So yeah, not much else to say. Let's just again, hopefully nothing goes wrong this time for the stream, be it the audio or the stream itself. So okay, let me just. Okay, my thing's connected. All right. All right. Let me just make sure this is okay. So everyone ready? Ready, spaghetti. 3, 2, 1, play. All right. Which sucks too, because the last time I did this yesterday, we were like what an hour in, and it just the mic only then decided to cut off. So frustrating how that does that sometimes. Let's see. Pete Hammond from Deadline declares this the funniest animated movie of all time. Let's see. Would this be the funniest animated film? I mean, I guess it could be up there, but no, it's all debatable. One. There are animated films out there. Oh, really? Because I heard that they cut off your ears if they don't like your face. At least that's what it said in the original song. I mean, I guess if I had to pick animated films I personally find funnier, um, well, funny enough, it'd be films that aren't by Disney, but like, I guess for me, I've always found like Fantastic Mr. Fox and A Town Called Panic are some of my favorite animated comedies. So Yeah, I know. At this point, there would be nothing in the lamp. And I've heard some fan theories that the peddler here is the genie, which I mean, consider they're both voiced by Ron Williams. I mean, but I guess that make a little sense, but I don't know. End of the franchise. Yeah, consider that after this movie, you still Return of Jafar, all 86 episodes of the TV show, and then King of Thieves. So, which I will probably get to eventually someday. This guy slit through a few throats, huh? That's something you can't get away saying nowadays in a modern Disney film. Hmm. Let's just say Kasim didn't die in this bit. If he was able to free to let go, you still would be able to touch all that treasure because only the lamp can be touched. I don't know. I guess it's meant to be a test to see if you're of how good your loyalty is. That you're not you don't let temptation get the best of you. But even then, it's still weird that you have all that treasure, but you're not allowed to touch it. It's I don't know. Everyone always talks about how great Ron Williams is the genie, which he is. Don't get me wrong. But I always found the banter between Jafar and Iago just as hilarious. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, Iago was the show stealer for me as well. It's just Gilbert Gottfried's line delivery and just his banter with Jonathan Freeman as Jafar is just always hilarious. Just another day in Agrabah, I guess. So this is just a common occurrence then, is it? So this is Jim Cummings' first role in a Disney movie. But I don't think this was his first role in a Disney show, considering he was also in like Ship Rescue Rangers and Darkwing Duck before this movie came out. So he's had his hand in being in Disney properties even before this movie. Yeah, I know, right? I feel like these guards are committing just as many crimes as Aladdin is. Like Aladdin's just stealing a loaf of bread for Sorrel. You guys throw fruit at him. You throw sheep around, like right there. Like really? Yeah, that guy on the bed of nails is probably dead. Again, all this for a loaf of bread. Like, I get their laws are incredibly strict about thievery and all that, but this is a bit much, don't you think? And into discount fertilizer. Dead for some bread, yeah. Yeah, even Al can't um resist helping, orphans. I can't remember, but in the 2019 remake, isn't the Cave of Wonders just a cave? Like it's not even just sand coming out of the ground, it's just a cave and not like one of many lame decisions they made in that remake. I still have never seen Twisted. I mean, I know of it. It's like a parody, Disney parody with starring the Disney villains or something. Yeah, but I mean, I guess so. I mean, fleas could still infect humans too, so yeah, you would think so, Al. It's not all glamour living in the palace like that. Yep. I mean, considering Roger the Tiger, it could have been a lot worse. Raj is a pretty big tiger, isn't he? I mean, I know tigers can be huge, but yeah, I guess the palace life did spoil him. Maybe that's one of the punishments to criminals. They just feed them to Raja. Isn't Jasmine meant to be like 15 or something? I don't know. Just remember, I think in the Disney Wiki it said she's 15 because you have to remember a lot of the Disney princesses are underage, which I guess because the time period this is meant to represent. So back when people were married at a very young age, arguably a little too young. Yeah, her mother was not this picky. Gee, I wonder why. Yeah, when you think about it, yeah, I guess this ring does kind of help her find a suitor in a ways that no one expected. I know, right? Like when you think about it, Sultan doesn't seem to be the most competent person in charge, I guess. But then you gotta be afraid what would happen if Jafar was in charge. What he end up doing. With Yaga, I understand being pissed, because being forced to eat those crackers that he's been hiding in him for who knows how long. For a little monkey, Abu must be pretty strong to hold on to one of those melons just hanging by his tail. Yeah, I know. You think the dude running that melon stand would be able to look above his roof to see if anyone's up there? Well, that guy's got heartburn. It looks like Aladdin's about to have some heartburn himself, but Hey, Anita, we're not that far into the film, so you think if Jasmine was smart enough, you think I get that she's never been outside the palace, but you think she would at least be smart to bring some money with her? Darn it, Abu! Yeah, you think that would be something they do with Abu? I mean, it would be fun if they did do an episode, but I don't remember if they did that. I mean, it's been a while since I've seen the TV show. Yeah, it goes without saying this movie is better than the 2019 remake. I think none of the remakes I'd say are improvements to their anime classics. Well, except for maybe Pete's Dragon, but at least that's what I've heard. Now, a lot of people say the Pete's Dragon remake is actually better than the original, but I don't know. Maybe we'll get to those films someday in the future. Yeah, I'm aware this film did spawn a couple sequels and a TV show. Yeah, yeah, I know. I've seen the sequels to TV shows. I know Iago reforms and all that. So yeah, that seems to be the case with most people. When people rank the Disney animated couples, Aladdin and Jasmine are usually within the top five, if not top three. I know when Razorblade did his Disney couples ranking, he had them in second place. Yeah, yeah, I'm familiar with the song "Proud of Your Boy." Just another list of deleted songs. Yeah, Abu is definitely no wingman. S- So wait, the guards knew where Aladdin lived, or did they just happen to stumble upon his place? Yeah, I guess Jafar is lucky that it could. You know, been a funny twist. If it turned out the Diamond Rough was Jasmine and not Aladdin. Wouldn't that have been a funny twist? Um, guards, doesn't Jasmine outrank Jafar considering she's the princess? Just saying. I mean, I guess, since Jafar is old and much older than her, and she's still a teenager. What a jerk. Yeah, no, right. You think Jasmine would have know where the execution took place, or at the very least, she probably would have gone to the dungeon to see him or something. I don't know. Yeah, Gilbert Godfrey, Ron Williams, and Douglas Seal, all actors that we've lost from in this movie. It's funny to think that Frank Welker is the voice, does the sounds of Abu. You know, the same actor who previously did like Megatron and um, Fred and Scooby Doo. It's Yeah, I agree. Jafar's definitely within the top, I guess top 10, if not top 20 best Disney animated villains. She's Jafar's having the times where I'm playing this old man persona. Okay, Aladdin, right there should be a red flag. The fact he knew there was a secret way out. Like, he could have just escaped by himself or something, but I don't know. Yeah, Drew already said that, Anita, that this is the first Disney film that Jim Cummings started. I guess, yeah, I suppose, like, love doesn't make people think straight. That's a lot of stairs. All that treasure that you cannot touch. I know, right? Like, the kid one says only one may enter, but, like, so does Abu not count? Mhm. Maybe carpet doesn't count as treasure. I don't know. The weird thing about carpet is that even though I could tell it's CGI, but there's times where he looks 2D animated. If that makes any sense. Yeah. I mean, if you look at the way it moves, at times it looks CGI. Unless it's a weird blend of the two they did. I don't know. I probably need to watch some behind the scenes of how they animated him. You know what I love is that despite the carpet not having a face, you can still tell how he's feeling just by his body movement. Yeah, Aladdin, maybe you should have brought Abu with you. Yeah, right. Why are there so many stairs in this cave? Yeah, Abu, you got problems there, buddy. You seems to have some weird, like, I guess it's like magpies that are attracted to shiny objects. Yeah, no, right. It's like Indiana Jones rules. You don't. There are certain things you don't touch, or those will trigger, the traps. And all right, a bit of a reaction to have just one piece of treasure touched. And it wasn't even Aladdin that touched treasure; it was Abu. Like, so it doesn't even count. And I know some people are going to say the CGI during this sequence looks a bit rough, but consider this is 1992 and this was just a year before big budget films like Jurassic Park came out. It's not that bad in comparison. Imagine they made this a ride at Disneyland. Yeah, the CGI flows pretty well. I mean, all things considered. Now here's my question. So if y'all ever watched the Aladdin TV show, they did do an episode that showed Genie had an owner before Aladdin. Like we saw one of his masters, and apparently the master made a wish that he would live forever, and he sent the Mukhtar to capture the genie to bring him back to him. That raises the question: if that master lost the lamp, how did it end up in the Cave of Wonders? I'm just saying. Yeah, I know Lea Salonga did do Jasmine's and Mulan's singing voices, which both do an amazing job. Yeah, right. How does it get that? But then again, is that treasure? Yeah, that is a good point. How did it gather all that treasure in the first place? Yeah, no, right. Terrible is an understatement. Like you, I don't know. That's offensive to jackals. Yep, yep. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Everyone's pretty much almost everyone's favorite character in this movie, and possibly this franchise. Yeah, try to make a bingo game out of all the celebrities that the genie references. I, so okay, at least the genie clarified that you can't wish for more wishes. So, well, I know he just referenced Arnold Schwarzenegger. I don't know what that one other dude was. I know later he references Rodney Dangerfield. And yeah, we have what's yeah the the big money making song and probably most people's favorite song from this movie, or at least it's the catchiest. Yeah, I don't think this film would have been the same if it wasn't for Ron Williams as the genie. Because I know they went through several actors to do the genie's voice, but I don't think it would have been the same if it wasn't for Williams. Yeah, I heard that John Candy was considered, but yeah. I guess Ron Williams really was an actor of our childhoods during the 90s, considering he was in this, Fern Gully, Jumanji, Hook. Hello. Yeah, I remember in the Tiki Room, I guess, Iago's done his own version of Friends Like Me. Yeah, that does raise a question. These people he brings up, are they living people or are they just illusions he creates? Like, right, like, what, can you give Aladdin a harem? Is that what what that was implying there? And now he's making a Peter Lorre impression. So right there implies he has done it before. He just doesn't like doing it. Okay. I don't know. Maybe he watched Full Alchemist and saw what the Elric brothers tried to do when they brought back the dead. It didn't end well. Yeah, Genie's persistent. You don't walk out on him. Yeah, brainwashing to love you is against the rule. I mean, yeah, Aladdin would never do that, but some sicko would probably consider that. Sultan, you're kind of taking this a little too well. Like, you do realize Jafar, from what you understand, Jafar sentenced someone to death without your permission. Like, I feel like there's a more serious, you know, yeah, you don't just put that behind. Yeah, I saw your comment. I'm aware of Eric Goldberg. Yeah, I know these two do kind of act like a married couple. But you think about it, Yago's just not your typical like sidekick. He's a lot smarter than you give him credit for. The fact this was his idea and Jafar, goes with it. You can tell that John Freeman and Gilbert Gottfried at the time of their lives when they voiced these characters. Like I can imagine what it was like in the recording booth. Why does Jafar just straight up kill the Sultan? But that, yeah, I guess that would have been too obvious. Yeah, but unlike a lot of animated kids films that come later, I guess the reason why the pop culture references work here is the genie is just this magical entity who can see into the future clearly. Yeah, no, right, Genie. You cannot did that yourself when you got him out of the cave. Yeah, I know this is probably one of the more bright and colorful Disney films, which is probably another reason why it's so popular amongst people. Like, I don't know, like, if you remember Quest for Camelot, that whole song segment that the Dragon's Son, they kept making pop culture reference, it just doesn't work in that film. Barely even know how many masters he had before Aladdin. I mean, I know in the TV show we do meet one of his old masters, but aside from that, I mean, you know. Hello, Sebastian. Aladdin's just lucky that genie here is not like your in some stories where the genie will grant you wish, but there's like a catch to it, or it bends you up for horrible, and the moral obviously is to be careful what you wish for. Which I guess when you think about Aladdin, technically learns that lesson in this movie. Like you have to be careful what your wish will lead to. I mean, yeah, I guess Aladdin. Yeah, Aladdin would eventually become a prince. With the third film in mind. It's also interesting to note that this isn't even the first genie Disney gave us when you consider the DuckTales movie that came out 2 years prior. So, and yeah, I did see the Beast right there in the Sultan's Tower of Critters. Hmm. Jerk. I think Jafar made this up. Something about the way this plays out, it seems like he made it up. But at the same time, it was actually common back then for elderly people to marry underage, ones. So it wouldn't be that I wouldn't be that surprised if that was an actual thing back then. I love there like when Sultan says you're so old. That just proves that Jafar's magic isn't that strong. So yeah, at least give the Sultan credit. He's not trying to force her daughter to marry someone she doesn't like. So yeah, I know, right? Because like, how many times has this happened in classic Disney where the villain tries to get with the underage like female lead? Because we had it with this, we had it with Frollo, and then if you want to count that deleted scene from The Lion King, is and we got the other big hit song of the movie. Yeah, right. Yeah, I know. I wonder if yeah. Yeah, this part especially feels like a reference to the Macy's Thanksgiving parade. I guess he doesn't get tired if you have phenomenal cosmic power, so okay, Aladdin, don't let the power go to your head, alright? Jasmine's not that impressed. I know, don't throw the gold out to the masses. I think that gold will disappear soon. I know why the villain is so relatable. Well, Kron is a jerk for different reasons than Jafar, right? Yeah, I know someone should never learn to fly, but like, isn't Carpet the one that's ship controlling or something? So I don't know. Yeah, excellent judge of character. Yeah, sure, Sultan. If you were, you wouldn't have Jafar in your city. Mm. Yeah, Jafar being the one to speak for Jasmine. Yeah, that does say something. Yeah, I guess it's a good point that this is one of, if not the only Disney animated film where it's kind of a princess, but it's the prince is the main character, not the princess. Really, Aladdin, if that's your big concern, like Jasmine laughing you, I think you should worry about something more than that. Like if they find out you're not really a prince, I'm pretty sure there's a penalty for that. Mm, just drop that voice, Aladdin. I know, right? Like he would be a prince if you did marry him. So, Aladdin, just be yourself, man. All right, that's all Genie asks you to do. Aladdin, red flag, red flag. Yourself. Yeah, this is about where we left off yesterday before my mic dipped out. So I know, right, Jasmine? You just not stop to ask how did he even get up there? Like, I don't know, maybe she thought he climbed up there, but even then, that sounds unlikely. And right there, Aladdin, you screwed up because you just had to say that line. She already figured out who you are. And we get one of Disney's greatest romance songs. Yeah, right. Did he screw up or just made it better for her? That she realized that he's alive. So yeah, no, I've seen your comments. Anyhow, just yeah, I'm familiar with the party song. I think that's what I'm saying. But the actress who voices does the singing voice for Jasmine, man, she can sing her heart out. I mean, I guess don't use dare. Close your eyes. I mean, but I mean, I get it was not meant to come off as a creepy line. It's just one of the lyrics. Hey, are you in Greece now? And yeah, Jasmine clearly figured out who he is with that apple toss. So again, it's a beautiful song. You have to admit, it's no wonder a lot of people use this song for their weddings. Break the laws of physics. Busted. Really, Aladdin, you're just ah boy. Yeah, I don't know. I've always hated the lie reveal trope because there's always an extended part of the film which is moping and doping and just taking up too much time of the film. But here, though, Jasmine at least understands why Aladdin did this. So, because much like her, he also wants a better life than the one he's currently living. So, that's something these two can share with each other. Okay, that has to be a strong net to hold an elephant. I've always wondered, did these guards, do they work for the Sultan or do they work for Jafar? Like, why are they taking orders from him when they should be taking orders from the Sultan? I don't know. When you think about it, we don't see them interact with the Sultan in this film. We only see them interact with it in the sequels and the TV shows. So, huh. Yeah, like what are even the Like, what are they even charging him? Like, what did Jafar tell the guards? Like, he's just some fraud or something? Like, I don't get it. Yeah, it's not surprised Aladdin's the highest grossing film in 1992. Because in 1992 wasn't even that big of a year for animated films. Yeah, this is kind of a dark moment. The fact they executed people that way, they just chained them and drowned them. It's But does that really count? Because Aladdin didn't say, "I wished for you to save me." He just had nod. So I don't know if that really counts as one of the wishes. I know, right? That's a good. I know, right? Why did Jafar do that in front of people that could clearly see him doing it? Okay, these are clearly different guards than the ones that Razul and him are. So again, it makes you want. It makes you wonder. Wed at once, huh? And yet they won't get officially married until the third movie. Yeah, Aladdin didn't think this far ahead, did you? I mean, again, careful what you wish for. You wanted to be a prince, now you're gonna be one. Not the time, Genie. Ugh, this is awkward. Yeah, you probably get executed if they found out you're not a prince. You know, say what you will, Aladdin might come off as a little jerky here, but he's at least he does feel guilty about what he does here with this choice. Unlike in the remake where he just boasts about it, which ugh, right in the Aladdin. I think you forgot something important. Yeah. Yeah, I know a lot of people to disappoint. Yeah, if only Genie trolled him with this one. I just heard the Wilhelm scream. Yeah, I don't know what was the person moving the palace? Like you didn't just to be above Agrabah, I guess. Say, what was the point of being salted if you're just trading back to your wardrobe, except slightly like a different hats and different like pointy shoulder pads or whatever? I mean, red looks better on him than white. Let's be honest. Yeah, I've seen your comments, and yeah, I just had nothing to say. So, man, that's probably the most insane villain laugh ever. Yeah, I do like say what you will about Return of Jafar. I do think his villain on Second Rate is a little better. Like Jafar finally got what he wants, and now he's just gleefully mad over it. Like, give Aladdin this, he is determined to make things right because he knows he made this mistake, and he's willing to do whatever it takes to set everything the way it should be. Uh-oh. Um, yeah, good thing I'm not in time, right? Jeez. I mean, Sultan, you kind of had to come and force feed him those crackers. Just saying. Jasmine, it could be worse. He could have put you in the sexy slave outfit that Leia wore in Return of the Jedi. Just saying. I know, right? Now people are gonna think Jasmine looks sexier in red than in blue. Yeah, I think Jeannie sums it up best with that reaction. Yeah, this is weird. It's weird when you. I know, right? I mean, at least the characters around react of how weird this all is. So yeah, twisted like her personality. Ugh. I love even Yako's disgusted. Clearly, a lot. Yeah, and I imagine she had to wash her mouth out really good for that. I know all these dad jokes. Yeah, I know she. Yeah, we all know that she did it to distract from Aladdin, but it's still, jeez. Yeah, nightmare fuel. Yeah, every Ophiaphobic's worst nightmare right here. Why did they have it in Kingdom Hearts where he fought Jake Snake Jafar? Just saying. I know. Clearly, Jafar's not aware of the rules of being a genie. This is part of the plan, Genie. Just go with it. And also, you have to admit, Jafar's genie design looks kind of sick. Yep. Everything is back to normal. And all right, stuck together for God knows how long. At least until the sequel. Genie, the ultimate wingman. Yeah, hooray for easy solutions. Love he's wearing a goofy hat. The end. So yeah, that was Aladdin, and after all these years, yeah, it still holds up really well. It's still a fun film. I don't know where I'd rank it amongst my favorites. I'd say top 5 and not top 10. It's a fun time all around with beautiful animation, a great soundtrack, one of the best, most romantic couples in their catalog, one of the best villains. It's and it I like I can understand if this is someone's personal favorite. It's definitely like I said, it's one of my favorites. I mean, I wouldn't say I still like Being the Beast more, but you know, maybe even Hunchback more. I don't know, but we'll get to that one later. So yeah, it's just a fun film. And from what I understand, this movie did spur controversy when it came out. Like, apparently, it was deemed offensive by Arabians, I suppose, due to how they depict some of the Arabian citizens. You know, you know how people are; they have to make a big fuss over everything. Even though this is a piece of animation, they tend to exaggerate. So, I mean, what can you do? But yeah. So that being said, hope you all enjoyed this v- viewing. And yeah, next time we'll be getting to the big one, folks. And I think you all know what that is. Not literally right. Why I can't talk today. Jeez, not literal. The next Disney watch along will be The Lion King. Yes, but my next watch along, if you've seen what I have for set 31, we'll be doing The Lost World Jurassic Park. I might do that a little bit. I don't know. If I have time today, I'll try to do it. Um, so yeah, hope you all enjoy this viewing, and I can't wait to see you all in the next one. So later.